Welcome to a new episode of the MVP Podcast. We talk hustle, business, content creation, athletics, and entrepreneurship.
Every day I'm hustling,
Streaming across the world on Spotify and Apple Music. The MVP Podcast starts now.
Stacks of jeans.
Guess we should get the ball rolling.
We're back. It's
Yeah,
episode
we're back.
4, I think, around that.
Yeah.
4 or 5-ish.
Yep.
It's been like a month and a half probably since we've done one, so.
Yeah, last one was like literally on the fly.
Yeah. It
Just
was a good one, though. It was fun.
Yeah. But we have our guy on today, Jared, my brother since 12, probably.
I think you were 8.
8, yeah. I'll go with 8. Doing whatever in the print shop, working, cutting grass at your house, whatever it was. We were always doing something together.
Yeah.
But we wanted to get you on. You were probably top 3 guest of ours to get on the
I'm
show.
honored.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
Fun
And,
fact.
What do you think?
Last podcast we had, we were like sitting there and I was like, yeah, like we got a really good guests coming on. Like we got Jared coming on, Alex's buddy, and Alex just like in the back. And I'm like, JK, I'm just kidding about that. We're not having him on. He's like, don't spoil it.
Aw. No, hey, it's love either way.
Manifesting greatness.
Yeah.
Hey, manifest something positive.
Right. But the owner of NOLAC Nation, how long's the store been open now? 4 years? 3 years?
Yeah, so the store's 4 years. The brand's almost 10.
10. That was down our 1214 East Carson, correct?
Yep, 1214 East Carson Street.
That's what's up. And so, like, being able to, like, kind of see you, like, along this journey, you know, I've been on the sideline, been a part of it,
Right.
you know, and from, like, the store or from the print shop to, like, the store, you know, and just kind of that whole entire process. What were those, like, initial feelings that you went through your head whenever you were first getting the store, the location down in Southside, and, like, this thing was full into gear? Because I know there was a lot of different mixed feelings throughout that past year.
It wasn't really mixed feelings.
Mhm.
It was what was going on around me at the time. As you know, while I was looking for a store, I was going through some medical issues.
Mhm.
And when I found the store, those issues had gotten worse. That put me in the hospital for a while, and I was fighting for more than work, we'll say, right?
Right.
So taking that all into account, it was like a clear path decision where it was like, okay, this almost ended, so I know I have to make this start. So the day of my last surgery, I actually signed the lease and got the keys. And then I was in a wheelchair. All my friends helped me out, and we built that store out. It took us from August to October because it was a Subway.
Mhm.
It was literally a Subway sandwich shop, so we had to tear that all out. And God bless the people around me. I couldn't have done it. I had so much help, so many favors.
You wouldn't be able to tell it to Subway today, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's tough.
So
we
crazy.
definitely built it out so you didn't have that Subway feel.
Right.
I'll say it's
could-
more an art gallery now. I look at it.
Yeah, you could tell that you put your creative kind of ideas into that store, and, you know, it's exactly the way you want it. You've told me many times, you know, you've had those drawings since you were like a little kid, and I think that kind of stems back to what NOLAC is itself. And, I mean, obviously it stands for No One Likes a Camper, but it has a lot deeper meaning than that, too, I think, a lot of times. And
Right.
it's we were just talking about it 20 minutes ago about how you are NOLAC, you know, and NOLAC is you kind of, but like
For better or worse.
Right.
For better or worse, but I mean every mantra is written in my handwriting for a reason, and it meant something to me when I wrote that. The cool part about the brand, what I love the most, is how those mantras are interpreted by the people that wear them.
Right.
So it means something different to everybody, right? So Beautiful Struggle, which I have tattooed, I have them all tattooed. They all mean something different to someone, which is so cool. And that's why my favorite is that, you know, we created a nightmare by unifying dreamers. It's unity. I say the nation for a reason. It's like-minded individuals that keep pushing themselves, and it's like, that's what this is. That's what it's about.
yeah.
You know How
Right.
hard am I on you? It's
Oh,
not an
yeah.
easy thing to be close to me. So I had to lighten that load and kind of distance who I am as a physical being and put that out there to what I am, as in how I look at things. So
Yeah.
that's the brand. That's the extension of myself in it.
Right. Speaking of the Dreamers Unified or
Yeah.
the shirt, I mean, AD rocking it and that huge video and
Yeah.
him signing the humongous contract. Those feelings, like just seeing that is just super cool. I
It's
think.
like I get emotional about it because at the end of the day, you want to see the people you care about win. And I mean, he's the best person Pittsburgh has right now for the city. You know, his wife, his family, the support system that he has allowed him to do so much for the city with his foundation, so much for people that, I mean, that video is a telltale example of it. Like, he could have worn anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, that means the world to me.
Right.
So it just, I don't have words for it other than like, thank you. That's
Yeah.
it. Like, it's just such a blessing to look at that and be like, but at the end of the day, it's such a cool feeling because I wasn't worried about him wearing that. I was happy for his family and him. He deserved it.
Right.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah. When you see like dudes kind of wearing or different high level kind of people, I mean, you there's just so many. And at like this point in the game, you know, just seeing it kind of motivates you still like to keep going and like
It humbles me.
Yeah.
It's, I don't see them as the world sees them. I don't see you as the world sees you, right? I see them as people that I've had conversations about and them being exactly what we talked about.
Yeah.
So it's a humbling, honored feeling to see that, and you know, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense because who they are is what the brand is. So the synergy always, it just makes sense. And if it didn't make sense, then I wouldn't really value it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's deep, you know, and just the way you kind of look at it, it's a lot different than I think a lot of other people would. That's in your position, you know, and it's cool to stay that humble and keep going about what you're doing.
I mean,
And
I'm
it's just
nothing
simple.
without the people that wear the product.
Right.
What does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
If people don't watch this, does it matter?
Yeah.
If people don't listen to what you say, does it matter?
It's about the community.
Exactly. Creating, building, like unifying, that matters. You have to give things purpose, and we're tribal creatures. So you create something that has purpose to people and watch people unite around it. And I look at it as what's better than love and dreaming? What is? Isn't that life? Like, you think about it, like I have a dream every night if I'm lucky, and then I get to carry something out when I wake up every day.
Right.
And Lord willing, I do it with people I love. Your podcast, I'm sure there's a lot of love through you three. And then there's a
We try.
unification of that doing the podcast. That's why you three are sitting here.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. It just kind of came out of nowhere. We were just like kind of all like-minded, kind of the same kind of general idea.
Well,
I mean,
what pieced you all together other than the podcast? Why were you friends prior?
We were we were all at Westminster, but then I think Pope and I were talking this spring. We wanted the three of us. He really didn't know Alex, honestly, till like probably earlier on this past semester. Not tight at least, but then we're like, how can we connect, and like, since we're all doing business and entrepreneurship and hustle, like how can we unify and do like something together? And one of us brought up the podcast, and then we came up with the MVP podcast, our initials, and we could interview like people we think is MVPs in the industry that they're in, and the rest is history. Now we're just kind of rolling with it and having fun with it. And we kind of already had like conversations like this before too, so we're like, why not record it?
Yeah.
And, you know, put it out, grow a community, and I don't know, just put it on paper.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
try to
So
get
it's-
some more people, at least, you know, get some more viewers. And
Let's grow it for fun,
Yeah.
you know, but we got to put some more out because Pope is about to head to Austin, so
yeah, major shouts to
There
that.
you go.
Yep.
You're down there with your sister, right? Nice.
Yeah, she,
So kind of lay out what's going on with you, dude, because like I don't think too many people know yet.
Yeah, so before like I went to school, I didn't really think like anything. Like I didn't even think I was going to go to school. I thought originally I was going to move down there with her, and then I decided to go to Westminster and do my thing. And then, you know, graduating, I thought, you know, obviously there's plenty of opportunity in this area, but she kind of convinced me that, you know, it's like such a growing city, and I should go down there and kind of like go roll with her for a little bit because she's so successful. So
What does she do?
She's a wholesale real estate agent.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I decided,
So you'll get licensed and work with her? Or?
So no, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to
Okay.
work actually for a digital media group is kind of the plan. I just got accepted for a job yesterday.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
big,
you.
bro.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
thank
dude.
you.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
So, and then I'll just live by her, kind of go under her wing for a little bit because, I mean, everyone that I know has kind of stayed true to our city and no one's really branched out and done their own thing. And I've always had a goal of creating generational wealth in like my family. So that's what I want to do. And I feel like going to Austin's like a big step for that.
Major props, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta jump, bro.
Pope is a big workout guy too. He goes
Yeah.
hard. You're looking at a dude.
There you
that
go.
Yeah,
goes
no, I was
super
when you
hard.
came in, I was like, he's beefed up. He definitely goes to the
Appreciate
gym.
it. I love it.
Pope got the workout page. You still gonna keep it going whenever you go down there?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Just because, like we've talked about before, that's just something that, like you talking about growing a community. Like I really just like inspiring people. I grew up with a lot of difficulties, a lot of medical issues, and like knowing that like if I just produce something and it helps somebody, that makes me happy. So.
Yeah. You gotta keep doing it then.
Yeah.
You got to.
Alex, how's the detail business been going?
It's good, man.
Sounds like it's been
super
busy.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to get you on schedule, dude, and like with the weather, I mean, a couple of days, I just kind of have to reschedule everybody and just kind of configure things.
Yeah,
and,
it's
I mean, but it's good, man. I can't complain. So I've been staying busy. I got to get Jared's car back in and get it looking right again. But
yeah. I
all
get
in
the
all, I
cruise
can't
for Popa too.
Yeah, no,
literally.
it's not even that my
Can
car
duct
actually.
tape a new mirror on too.
Oh, yeah, I had to do that. I had to do that the other day. That hurt.
What, the parking lot video when you're
No, that's a totally different story. I was working the other day, and I come out in my car. I get in. I'm driving down the road, and I went to switch lanes. I look out, and I'm like, "That's crazy. My mirror's gone." And so,
when you're down here?
no, this was like
Because
at work.
that wouldn't shock me if someone did it in Pittsburgh. And just trying to
Yeah,
throw it away.
no, someone must have been drunk or something. Hit it with a golf cart because, like,
Ooh,
yeah, it
you
was.
were golfing.
Mirror's
Yeah.
gone.
But I was telling Josh actually the other day, Jared, the story about you is like obviously these guys know you. I had no idea who you were, and Alex has told me multiple times before, about NOLAC and your company and everything, and I was like, oh, that's cool, a little shop in Pittsburgh, and I've been going to Pittsburgh like every weekend for the last month.
Yeah.
And I was at
Why?
Tequila Cup. Just cause really,
You were going out, you're going
I
out,
love
taking in the
Rivers
nightlife.
Casino.
Okay.
Like,
What's your game? What's your game?
I'm blackjack and roulette.
He's a
Okay.
Y guy.
There you go.
He's from Youngstown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Youngstown area,
So, but I go into Tequila Cowboy, and I swear every other person I saw in there was wearing a NOLAC shirt.
I hope it wasn't all the same shirt.
No,
All right, good.
no.
Good.
But yeah, it was just like crazy. I was like, man, this guy's got to be big here because like everyone.
It's
is
all
wearing the
relative,
gear.
bro.
Yeah,
Like it's all relative.
but that's cool to
it's-
see. Like it's
yeah.
cool to see.
It's
for sure.
humbling. I mean, it's humbling. There was a part of graduating from people texting me like, "Oh, I saw somebody in it. Do you know them?" To there's 20 people in this room that have it all on. There's no way he knows them all. So that growth is the humbling aspect of being like, damn. Like I always talk about taking a step back, and sometimes if you stare at like the one, you're like, oh, okay, I got one, that's cool. But you take a step back and see the whole room, and you're like, oh shit, I got 20% of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a lot more than I thought it was, and it's a cool paradox because it's humbling motivation.
Yeah.
It's not like arrogancy. It's okay. I worked really hard to get this. I got it. I know I could get more because I got this. So it's neat because in that moment, I don't celebrate a lot. Anybody that knows me knows like I don't do vacations. I love what I do because what I do is growing myself, right? So like I'm addicted to that. But in those moments, like he was talking with AD, I'll step away and just be like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is pretty cool.
I think it's cool whenever like a lot of people like around Pittsburgh, they just kind of take it and like look at NOLAC and they take pride in it. Like
That's
a lot
what
of-
I want.
Yeah,
That's
like the best feeling. Like I feel like
well, and I always say this is like I'm from the city and for the city. I'm not here to pillage the city. I'm not here to put it on my back and say, look at me, I'm from Pittsburgh. No, I want people to be like, look at Pittsburgh.
right.
That's it. I got a lot more work to do. It's not like I'm outside of Pittsburgh. Yeah, sales are, but if we don't open another store in another city, does it matter? Like we got to get outside of Pittsburgh, grow the thing where it's locally grown,
Yeah.
nationally known.
That's like, I mean, obviously I haven't known Alex enough to be there for his day one, but like I was there for Josh's day one, and I remember him just like calling like, yeah, dude, like I'm doing this thing for this person for a couple $100, like this is crazy, like I'm doing this all for, he would always say exposure. I'd always make fun of him. He'd be like, dude, I'm just getting so much exposure right now. And like now, like you said, it went from like you focus on the one to now he's got 20 in a week. You know, it's like, it's crazy. New. Yeah,
it's natural progression. That's why I tell everybody, you know, anybody that knows me, you walk in the store, sit in the front with me and ask me questions, and you have me. Mm-hmm. And anybody that asks me a question, my first question is, did you start? Start and come back. Because if you didn't start, you're not even willing to get the ball moving. And we all know a body in motion stays in motion. So once you start and that thing rolls, like you might have to get the heck out of the way because you're going to get momentum. I promise you that. But if you never start, there's never a chance of that. And that's the thing. So anybody that starts has my utmost respect. But to continue when you lose momentum after you have it, that's when you really earn my respect. Because the only difference between a person like myself and the person that started and isn't still doing it is figuring out how to do it when everybody said you couldn't. That's the only thing that matters, is if you don't have enough money, can you go find it? If you have a problem, are you willing to put the work in to solve it? Or will you just walk away? Yeah. And it's the people that walk away that will label the people that didn't as this, that, and others. But at the end of the day, we all have the opportunity to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
So why quit once you started?
Right.
Exactly. One thing I wanted to bring up a little bit more was like, can you take us through like the very early stages of this? Like what got you into like making your own brand, your own fashion, your own clothes?
So the stories are wild. But I would probably take it back to, and it's not a happy time. But 9/11, and why I say that is, you know, family finances weren't great, and my family's hustlers. Like we that's just in our blood. And after 9/11, what's that?
Shout out to DZ.
Yeah, DZ's the man. Yeah, my pops is the man.
He is.
Yeah, but honestly, I saw what they did, and they had met somebody at a wedding. I believe it was my uncle at a wedding that did wholesale and owned a manufacturer. I think it was called like Head to Toe Clothing or something. So they were like, okay, you know, there's opportunity here. It may not be like the best, but there's opportunity. So they ordered 10,000 hats. They were white hats with a blue cap and a red brim, and on the left side had an American flag. And they were just hustling them, like door to door, whatever they had to. And then they had the idea to get groups of people to buy them and then embroider the group on the front to show pride of the group. And I just watched that and I was like, damn, I could do that. And they brought me in and I started to learn that. And then I learned how to do heat presses, and then I learned the screen printing game. But just all because I was an artist, right? When I was real young, like I would say 8, 9, it was right around that same time because the And1 mixtape, all that came out. Like
those were so fire, dude.
They were ridiculous. Like they created a lot of poor habits in young hoopers, but they were incredibly entertaining.
Right.
Long story short, I would sketch. So I used to send them sketches. They'd send me back clothes and I'm like, oh, I could do this. I'm a young, naive kid, not, you know, because I do that now to kids.
Yeah.
If they send me something, I'm like, yeah, I got you. Keep going. So the combination of those two things, I saw I had what I thought was a gift, and it took time to curate it to what it is, but it's still a gift nonetheless. And then I saw what it took to get your products out, and it was just straight hustle. It was like you can't worry about what people think, and you have to be accustomed to doors literally slamming in your face. Be like, all right, cool, I'll go to the next door. Like there's 200 houses on this block. That's one. That's one house. Like get to the next one. Yeah. So between those two, it taught me all that. So you progress. And I spent time, I moved to New York, modeled, came back. I worked with my pops doing insurance. And same thing, like I just always had this itch to keep creating. So I forget. I was on a basketball trip, and the first Call of Duty came out, and one of my boys, I forget who it was, is sitting and playing this game, and he's like complaining about campers, and I'm like, dude, what is a camper? Like, what is this? Because the game just came out. I wasn't really a big video game dude. I think we were in Iowa. Dude, the Drake Realty Tournament in Iowa. That was it.
Duquesne, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And anyway, long story short, I'm like, you're a camper playing this game, bro, blah, blah, blah. And I remember writing that down, and I was like, bro, no one likes a camper, man. Like, you're a clown, blah, blah, blah. Let it go, wrote it down. So fast forward out of school, do all that other shit. I revert back to it, and I'm like, I saw this logo that's tattooed right here, and I'm like, I drew this when I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite this refined, but I'm sure I was influenced. We're from Pittsburgh, Mr. Yuck, and all those things.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at it, and I remember writing NOLAC out. And then I remember telling a couple of my boys, and I don't know, like, if you guys know what NOLACing is, and they were like, bro, that's hard. I was like, yeah, but I can't use that. It's too niche, right? So I'm like, I need to make this broad where it can be taken in by anyone. Anyone can freely interpret it how they need it to be. So I put the two together, and I was like, that's it. It's NOLAC. And in the early, I really pushed the no one likes the camper. No one likes a camper, but I didn't like it. I was like, okay, I know that's the inception, but I don't like this. So I pivoted, got away from it, and I was like, this is it. And then that's when I really started to get into the branding of the mantras. And I'm looking at my logo, and I'm like, all right, bro, like, you got the sight and the dead face. Focus or die. Like, that's what it is. Focus or die. And that's what the logo is. So, like, I have that tattooed up here, like, down my shoulder. Like I said, I'll just sketch these things out. And I know when it's the right time to put them into play. Let me rephrase. I don't know, but if it's wrong, I work as hard as I can to make it the time.
Yeah.
So that's how I hedge me being incorrect is just applying more effort. But just go through all that shit. And like I said, I went through some medical things, and God bless the people that were around me. I lost everything. And that store, like, the people around me lifted me back up, and I was like, I got another chance.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta do this. Right. So it just, I can't really pinpoint one thing where it started, how it started, but it's like he said, it's the culmination of my whole life where I'm like, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm. There was nothing like that day, dude. I remember going in for like opening day and seeing your dad there, seeing your mom there, and like DZ was just living it up, and like it was just so cool, to see from the print shop to you like at the store, and it was like this thing's.
There was a level of legitimacy because there was something tangible now. And the thing is about the brand and the effort that I've put in to get it to where it is from a luxury perspective, you don't understand it until you have that product in your hands. You feel the weight. You can feel the value. You put it on, and it changes the dynamic of how you feel about you. And you can't get that on social media. You can't pay to get that through a little screen to somebody. You can't. And you can't explain that. A video doesn't do it justice. You have to be there. So I knew that store, once it started, would become that. And that front of the store, I've envisioned that for so long with the TVs. And actually, God bless my friend, he donated the chairs, and they came from the suites at Heinz Field.
Yeah.
So, and then Joe, our boy Joe brought in these on-brand red recliners that some people have passed out on long nights, and everything just works. And that's where I take my meetings now. I mean, I did my interviews with Mr. Stocky in the front of the store, like I had seen it. So I believe in manifesting things, but being patient, because I have it tattooed here, man plans and God laughs. And I say that because we can plan and we can believe, but the problem is we're not patient to let things carry out. And if you really want it, it might take a decade. It might take 20 years. And I'm a testament to that. But you have to stay persistent that whole time, that patience and persistence. I hate to keep bringing this back up, but everything, like, it gets you through a lot when you really believe in stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, it's all connected. I mean, but, like, a lot of the things is you kind of try to do something, or you do things like you don't stick to this, or you try to do things different a lot of times, like your daily kind of schedule, I guess,
Oh, I'm a mess with, I'm consistent, but I'm never calculated in scheduling.
Right.
Anybody that knows me hates me for it. I'll be like, yo, my bad. The fact that I'm here at 4, I told him, I was like, I'll be late unless you don't pick me up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be late. And I'm honest with it because I don't want to waste your time. Time is the most valuable commodity in the world, and we won't get it back. So I used to in the past I was an asshole. I was just inconsiderate of time. I was other people's time, thinking mine was the only thing. And the older I've gotten, the more I've realized, like, I'm the center of my universe, but I ain't shit in the universe. Right?
Yeah.
So that's where it is like, yeah, my schedule every day is consistent, but I'll tell people, they'll be like, what do you have to do today? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing next. I don't know what I'm doing next because I go off of what I feel. What's my inspiration in that day? Yeah, sure, I have the broad strokes, but when it gets to the finite details, I'm like, I'll figure it out as I get to it.
Yeah, like the cool part, I think, what was it, 2 days ago? I like hit you up. I was detailing or something, and I'm like, dude, you want to go golf? He's like, all right, let's go at like 6.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, just like the fact that you just go and do it and then figure it out as you like kind of go is it's cool.
The testament to that is I don't take the breaks people take. I don't look for the weekend. I work through the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't take time off when I get home. It's not the best thing. I'm not giving advice to people to say go do that. It's not great, but it allows you the freedom to do what you want when you want. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have responsibilities because as you scale, I have responsibilities to employees. I have responsibilities to customers now. And as you scale up, you'll realize that you guys will have to become consistent in this podcast. The more viewers you get, because they're looking at you for new information. They're looking at you for new conversation, new insights, everything. So if you become inconsistent, then you start to lose that. So there is always a balance to it. So I'll make sacrifices in my personal life now. I just turned 33, that by the time I'm 35, 36, I'm working 2 hours a week. I might not be working at all, in all honesty. But that's why I doubled down now. I'm trying to get that 10,000 hours in a lot of different avenues in now. So by the time I'm 37, 38, 40, there's a multitude of things that I'm so skilled at that I can't, you're not paying me that amount of money because it takes a long time. It's because of my skill set. And that's what I focus on.
Right.
What so with the designs like nowadays, how does that like process work? Are you just kind of always like sketching new stuff up, or is it just like
No, this shirt
randomly?
right here, this isn't even out.
Yeah.
But a lot of these I'll be sitting in the store, I'm like, oh, I got an idea. And it takes 15 minutes and I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's that quick now. That's why people are like, when do you create? I said, when I'm inspired.
Whenever you feel it.
Whenever, yeah, exactly. Like I have to, life is a feeling thing. You can't go and be like, well, I have creative time from 10 to 2.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to be creative then? Are you going to be creative every day at 10 to 2?
There's no way.
No.
Yeah,
It's like for video.
That'd be
even,
so
like,
hard
I
for
just-
yeah.
It's whenever I feel like it. Whenever I like, get in that mood, and then I just get grinding. And
But the head start that I had was sketchbook upon sketchbook of sketchbook of sketchbook to reference when I knew I needed something, but I wasn't necessarily inspired in that moment to create it. And now the neat part is in the 10 years I've been doing this, I've created so many different patterns, curated so many different fabrics that now I can just piece stuff together differently. These pants are a pattern I made 7 years ago. I just refined it with different fabrics and different embellishments, and it's like the fit's the same.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm getting, just a little bit of a different version. I can start tweaking and refining. So certain products will get better and better and better and better and better. Like my sweatsuits, I don't touch them anymore. It's the best-selling item I've ever made. Every single year, I drop three to 5 colors, and they move. So it might not be perfect, but it sure hell ain't broken, so you don't need to touch it anymore.
no reason to fix it.
Exactly. And as an artist, a creative, I can speak to them all. You never think you're done, and that's where you have to take that step back and be like, this is business. Like, go create something else. So you have an 80-20 rule. 80% of the things that I release, I know are safe. 20%, that's from my heart. Those are the things that I want to create, and those are the spur-of-the-moment decisions. Like, I have a shirt that says, it's only business, don't take it so personal.
Yeah.
I literally wrote that on a piece of paper. It was a scrap thing. And then I pulled that into Illustrator and refined it. I put it together, sent it to my factory. I was like, I need this embroidered on this pattern. I need this GSM fabric and I need this stretch rate and I need it in 3 weeks. And they just did it. And that was it.
Spur of the moment.
And I sold out, and then I dropped 2 new ones. I sold out the hoodie. I dropped another one. So it's things spur of the moment. Those are the things, like, you don't have time to think. You can't hesitate. So over time, when you feel it, you react, and life is a reactionary thing. Because if you let your brain get in the way of your heart, you're probably going to do stuff that's not really you, but the influence of society on you.
I love that.
A lot of people probably don't know that you self-taught yourself to sew either. When you were talking about all the products and everything, I mean, it's still probably a work in progress.
Well,
but,
it's a
just
testament to me talking my shit. Is like, I'm never going to tell you guys something that I didn't do. I didn't sacrifice. I'm not going to sit in the bleachers and tell you how to play your sport. Like, I was an MVP. Like, I put my 10,000 hours in 3 times in this. I'm not going to give you fake game. I can't. So, yeah, to speak on what he was, I started like everybody else. I went into a Champ Sports and got the 4 for 20 or 5 for 20 T-shirts. I ended up making friends with the manager.
Shout out to Wes.
Yeah, exactly. One of my closest friends now was there when I started, and they're the only ones that didn't laugh at me. They didn't laugh.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, whatever you need. To the point in time where the manager, at the time, her name's Ashley, would text me and be like, we got new blanks in if you want to come get them. And I was like, this is really, really cool, but I can do better than blanks, right? So that's when I went. At the time, I took my girlfriend's sewing machine. I broke it. I think her sister let me borrow that. I broke that. I ended up getting it fixed and gave it back. I was like, look, I got to buy my own. So I bought a $99 Singer, and it was the heavy duty. And I just put my hours in and hours in and hours in. And I'm still not good at it. It's not a refined way. If someone spent their 4 years going to fashion school, would laugh at me. But there is no right way except the right way for you. So we all can look at different things a different way, or the same thing a different way. You ever play the chair game?
Which one?
So, like, if we all sat here right now, think of a chair.
Okay, thinking.
Any chair.
Got it.
All right, go. You first.
Recliner.
I have one of those like big chairs that like cut in the middle with like the arms on the side. And there's like 4 little legs. They're like, it's taller in the back. All right.
I'm just thinking of a folding aluminum chair.
I got the chairs from like elementary school. You know, I don't know.
Oh, with the
Pops and
desk.
them.
Yeah, the plastic ones.
Plastic,
the
yeah.
best back crack ever.
Oh yeah.
You go like that and
yeah.
just crack your back. Oh my God.
Okay, so what do you think the point of that was?
Everybody came up with a different idea.
But
Their
what
own idea
were
of a
we all
chair.
talking about?
Yeah, a chair.
So now if you're in an argument with somebody, they're never going to understand what chair you're thinking of, and you both are right. So I don't get into these stupid debates with people anymore. Like, bro, you do it your way, but if this way is working better and more efficiently, then maybe try it and then go back. So I tried to form a way. I went on YouTube. I did the University of YouTube. I tried to take sewing classes and listen to people, and I was like, no. I'll do it my way because your way isn't right for me.
I love that. That's deep.
Well, that's why I'm also a college dropout. So, like, I'm not the best to talk to about those things in an educational platform because you can't blanket a society with the same thing. It's a case-by-case basis, and that's why we have a problem now is because there aren't enough one-on-one workers.
Yeah.
They're not paid enough either, so.
Yeah, literally.
I feel like, though, like, a lot of people that are successful do something in an unorthodox way.
You have to, because if you start listening to everybody, what are you going to be? Like everybody.
Like everybody,
So
yeah.
when I tell people that go into a non-specified field in school, like, okay, you understand you go in as this, like, unrefined ball of clay. Like, you could become anything. But you have these, well, now I hope it's better than when I was in school because that was a while ago. But you have people teaching stadium-sized rooms the same thing. So after your freshman year, you get molded one way, and then your sophomore another way, junior year another way, senior year another way. And 30,000 kids came in, but like 6 different versions of those kids came out, and that's it. And it's like, whoa. So I realized that I was being molded, and I was like, yo, don't mold me. I don't know you. You don't know me. So I'm going to leave, and I'm going to leave the room, and I'm going to go build my own. And that's fine. It's no slight to it. It just wasn't for me. And that's the thing. Some people need that structure. Some people need that conformity. And that's good. Some people live in the Ryan homes, the cookie cutter homes, and some people have a small apartment for 10 years and then go build the house of their dreams. One's not better than the other. It's just one I think is better for me, and I picked that.
Yeah.
So when people tell me that's wrong, it's like, well, thanks for your opinion, but go fuck yourself.
No, it's facts.
That was whenever you got out of school, and then you went and did the modeling for a while, correct?
Yeah.
And then you were figuring it out, and then that was pretty much like, how'd you get into the modeling scene?
Oh, dude, it was in high school.
For the people that don't
Well,
know.
I don't know if anybody saw the goofy Netflix thing, and it's pretty accurate. I won't say names just because if they watched it, they know. But at the time, Abercrombie and Fitch was like,
Oh, I just watched that.
okay,
yeah, that was crazy.
There's a specific photographer in it, and yeah, like I got into it in high school briefly, and I was like, bro, I don't want to do this. Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was in college, and I forget specifically where I was, and a scout was there and was like, you should do some Polaroids. I was like, all right, cool. So I did Polaroids, and they signed me on the spot, and then they sent me up to New York, and I was working with Ford, Major, and Red. There's 3 different agencies, and then my mother agency was Doherty here. And it was just, like, it was cool, man. Like, the money's in catalog shoots. Like, I'd go to Ohio and shoot for like 7 days and come back with like 15, 20 grand. I was like, this is crazy.
Right.
And they treat you great.
Yeah.
You know, like I met some awesome people there. It was really cool. But it just, again, I'm very like, yo, I do it my way. And I was just like, I'm cool, man. Like, I just don't really want to do all this stuff.
Yeah. I
It
feel like
just wasn't for me.
Some of the people probably in there, I mean, it's probably...
Yeah, I learned a
there's
lot.
not
I
so much
learned a lot
creativity.
that I'm using today, up in the scene, we'll call it at the time. But yeah, it's just, I mean, you could pick and choose your worlds, and I entered into it. I said it wasn't for me, and I was like, okay, like I did it. I saw what it was. I know it's not for me. I'll keep it moving.
Yeah.
But
Talk about the shoes, man. We haven't talked about the massive kit collection that you still have.
yeah, actually, the shoes have always been
But they're a part of the journey, and we haven't really talked about them a whole ton.
Yeah, the Jordan 12 playoff, I'll never forget. That was the singular shoe that made me fall in love with shoes. Like I said, my dad, God bless him, man, he never ever told me I was crazy for loving shoes. He thought I was a weirdo, but he never told me. You know, like I could tell. He's like, bro, why you need more shoes? Like, it would be annoying, but it was cool, bro. It would be like every Sunday at the time, like he would have to go, I forget where he went, like Sears or something, to pay a credit card bill. He's like, you want to go? I'm like, yeah. So while he's doing that, I would just run into shoe stores and like take in all this information. I'll be taking notes. Like, I was a weirdo. And but anyway, back to the 12 playoffs. My dad was like, oh, like, yeah, you could get them, because I was like a 5.5 or something. And you know, whenever you go to like a 6 or a 6.5, it goes to men's.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my foot got bigger. And it was like, at the time, I think they were like 120 and the kids were like 65. So he pulled him out. I'm like, I'm all excited. We take him to the register, and the dude's like 120 or whatever it was. And my dad's like, hell no. So I'm like, damn. He's like, go hit the
moment.
yeah, bro. He's like, go hit the sale rack, and I'm like, bruh. So I ended up with some like Team Nikes that had like, they were like white and green. I'm like, bruh, like, come on. No, actually, I'm lying. I got those. We didn't go there. We went to a place. It's gone now. But it was called Value City. It was like right in Curry Hollow.
Oh yeah.
And that they used to get some heat, but it would be like the team shoes no one wanted.
Yeah.
And they were like the Air Max Total Forces and like white and forest green with a huge TN unit. I was like, all right, I'll settle. Like,
Yeah,
They
I
ain't
think it's
some
cool.
12s.
It's cool to see now too, because I mean, even this past Christmas, we literally went Christmas shopping. And you went and got DZ these like huge the Nike
The
what's
Go
it, the Nike
Domes.
boots.
They're
And
the Go
dude,
Domes.
the dude was so pumped, and it was like
Yeah.
a full circle kind of moment. He got the boots back. It was
Yeah.
sweet. But I
That's
mean, not a
awesome.
lot of people probably know that you like literally sold so many shoes to kind of
I sold-
with
yeah.
the champs that you were saying you were
Yeah.
going to get the blanks and
So I would actually to get the money to start it, I sold my car,
Yeah.
and I sold like 200 or 300 pairs of shoes. It was crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So like, I knew I needed capital. I didn't know I needed a lot more than what I actually got, but it just, I started.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm somebody that values things, because I didn't have a lot coming up, where I'm like, all right, I sacrificed all these things. I better fucking do something.
Yeah.
Like, I have to do something now. And that's where I was like, okay, back against the wall, like, you have no choice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now I got them all back and more. So it all works out. Like, it all works out. You make the sacrifices and you'll get a bountiful return.
Yeah. Was there any, like, a time where you had, like, a lot of self-doubt or a lot of doubt from others where you just kind of, like, thought about giving in or giving up, or was it always
I just laughed. I was always doing it. Bro, like, I mean, there were some very deep conversations I had with people that were very close to me that what I tell people all the time, the people closest to you will try to protect you from the fall always, right? You remember when you were a kid and, like, you might have had a hovering parent and it was like they didn't want you to fall, but inevitably you were going to because you're a kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing when you get older. They try, like, people that love you try to protect you, but they know when you go to do things that you're passionate about, they can't necessarily protect you from it once you start, so they try to stop you from starting. And it's no slight to them. That is what love is, because they get scared, but never allow somebody's fear to be projected upon you because they don't know you. Like, they don't know what's in your heart. Only you do. And if you know that, like, there is no outside. I only listen to my heart.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's wrong. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, I'd rather be wrong than let somebody project their will upon my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, because they think they're doing what's right for you, but they're also... They can be potentially hurting you in the long run. Cause
they can't do what's right for you.
Yeah.
They can't. Not when you know what's right for you. You can have the open dialogue and they can give you the pros and the cons, but unfortunately, life is a very, very subjective game. Mm-hmm. There's very few things in life that are objective. And even then, they are until they aren't.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
It's the easiest way. And that's why I always say control the controllables, is you to put it into yourself. It's always your fault. If it's always your fault, guess who gets really good at making things better?
You.
Yeah. Exactly. Because if you're at fault, then only you can correct it. But if you put the blame game on others and you keep saying it's their fault or they did this wrong or this, that, it's a cop-out. How can you fix it then?
How you dealing with kind of all the, I guess probably the stress more so than just kind of, we were talking earlier about, you know, you have people that are on payroll now. You have to think of, I mean, you're creative, you think of the new ideas, but like you say, probably one of the main things you do to kind of alleviate that stress is working out. And
oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the gym like is my sanctuary.
Like that.
The gym is my sanctuary, bro. I'll go 3 hours every day, 2 times a day. Like, I don't, you know, my early workout is like I wake up, I feed my dog, eat. Sometimes I don't eat, actually. You know, get some work done. I go work out at my boy's crib. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Shower, go straight to work. I'll come home at 9:30, 10. Sometimes there's a little Planet Fitness by me. I'll go work out again. Mm-hmm. Just go chill, get back to work, because my factories are 8 and 12 hours ahead. So whenever I'm winding down, they're starting back up. So you have this gap where, okay, I got a window of like 3 hours that I need to get all pertinent details to them so I don't waste a day. I have 3 hours for a whole day for them. So you have to be somewhat scheduled and calculated in that capacity. But like I said, I don't make true plans. I just go off feeling.
Right. Is that kind of like the I guess overarching goal is like you're just going with the flow with NOLAC then at this point? Or like is there any key set?
I don't force anything. Yeah. I used to. You know, we attach ourselves to wants, and wants attach themselves to expectations. And if I have expectations, then I could settle for less than what I deserve. And I'm gonna take it a day at a time. Mm-hmm. It's difficult at times because you know how hard you work. We all are doing things in our own respective way. That it's tough to not sit there and say like I deserve more than what I have. Mm-hmm. But you have exactly what you deserve.
Right.
Most times excess. Yeah. The problem is you can't appreciate what you have if you keep worrying about what you want next. Mm. So I've just been practicing detachment and thinking about all of those things.
Mm-hmm. So we got the cue to kind of wrap it up. Yeah, you got any closing kind of thoughts? Anything? I'm not sure. You know, I mean,
we appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, I'm honored to be here, guys. I appreciate your time.
No question, was the most informative podcast I've ever been a part of.
Oh, no. I was just talking my shit. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. There's consistency in it.
One last thing I had though, like to draw back, you said something which like I feel like I've thought so many times and I didn't know how to word it. When you were talking about luxury items, you said like when you put it on, it changes the way that you think about yourself. Is that positive or negative to you?
Oh, I mean, my goal is to make sure it's positive to them. It's not about me.
Yeah.
When I make products, it's not just for me. It's for a multitude of people that expect a caliber that I need to keep raising, right?
Yeah.
So I've yet to find it as a negative. You know, it is if you put it on and you feel good about yourself, I think that's always a positive.
Yeah, because I feel like it's definitely different when, you know, you're just dressed casually, going doing your own thing, and then like you like to get ready to go do something you want to do, and you know you're putting on that luxury outfit.
Yeah,
like you're definitely in a way better mindset.
Yeah,
than
it's
you
that feel good. Like,
day.
I'm gonna have fun in this. People are gonna look at me a little differently.
Yeah,
and people don't need to look at you differently, but you should feel differently. You should feel special. You should feel like I look good. I feel better. Motivated.
No, that was the best way I've like, because I've always thought about that. Like, why do I feel different? Why do I look different when I get ready for something I want to go do? And I was like,
you value yourself now
so perfectly.
It returns. You value what you put on, and now it's on you. You tend to value yourself more. It's a shame in some cases. I think that aspect's a negative. That necessarily objects can change how we feel about ourselves, but as long as my products make you feel better, I'm going to keep trying my best to make sure they keep getting better so everybody who puts them on feels great.
Yeah.
Sweet. It was a pleasure having you on always, brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thank you for coming down and taking some time out of your busy day, man. And go down to the store, 1214 East Carson, man. Show some love.
Check it out.
Alrighty.